The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let's talk about this main event rematch from last November because Conor McGregor dropped out. We won't get into that again. Alex Pereira defeating Yuri Prochazka, second round knockout. So round one was a lot of them kind of like downloading information and both guys trying to find a range. Alex was working that jab and he was ripping those leg kicks. And then with 1 second left in the round, he dropped Yuri with that left hook. And seemed like Yuri wasn't really able to shake the cobwebs. You could tell he was, kind of discombobulated after getting dropped with that hook. And then round two, right out the gate, almost head kick, ground and pound, and game over. And Alex Pereira is still your UFC light heavyweight champion. What are your thoughts on this one, Amar?
Yeah, I don't think Jerry ever really recovered from that hook, man. He just was wide open at the start of that second round and took that kick, and he was on wobbly feet for minutes and minutes after. I know Jerry is a top tier fighter. I just don't like his style. He throws them strikes in and out, and he drops his hands way too much. He leaves himself open way too much, and we've seen it multiple times now. For Alex, Alex did what Alex does is, he processes things, kind of fills them out. He starts downloading, looking for the holes. Where can he get them strikes in? And then he just takes advantage of it. I don't think I learned much about really either fighter that I didn't already know. What I did learn is I want to see Alex fight John Jones.
Jumping the gun a little bit. Steve, what are your thoughts on that fight?
Yeah. Like he said, he got him, feeling him out, but always in famous fashion, he torques that left hook, caught him with one of his special, punches. And then I don't think we've seen a significant kick knockout to where probably that wasn't what he was anticipating, let alone he got, a rock from that left hook. As soon as he got kicked, I automatically thought, if y'all remember Rush Hour, like, which one of y'all kicked me? That's where that kick came from. And he didn't see it, and you can tell somebody that I don't think he would have got caught by that if he wasn't rocked the previous round. I was like, man, that was amateurish for him not to see that starting off in the first seconds, but he got that off. And like I said, Yuri's style, it's good until you got a good, accurate striker like Pereira. And it's almost like you're playing Russian roulette. You have to be perfect on your footing, or else, he'll torque a left hook and look what happened, So, and I think he even said, which I don't believe in, he says he has to either evolve or retire. And I don't think he'll retire, but definitely evolving, because you have to literally know you have to stop your style when you're up against certain people. And I guess he couldn't. And I think he knew that just by in the first fight trying to take him down. But he didn't get that off, obviously. So,
yeah, it was nasty. And if I'm Yuri, I'm a little bit salty, or he should be a little salty at the UFC. I feel like they set him up for failure, taking this short minute or last minute fight, replacing Conor. I know both of them fought at 300, but Yuri took a whole lot more damage than Alex did. Like, he lost that first round. I think he almost got finished in that fight at 300, and then he was able to come back and get the finish. But he didn't really have any time to recover. Like, I don't even know why he took the fight. I get why he took the fight. When opportunity knocks at your door, you got to take it. But I don't know. I feel like he shouldn't have jumped right back into that with a deadly striker like Alex Pereira. I don't know. What your thoughts on that, am I?
I mean, it's ultimately his choice to take it. He's a professional fighter. He knows, you know, the consequences of taking a short fight. He knows what can happen. You know, I think he honestly believed that he was still in the last fight, and things could be different this time. But you know, Alex is just insanely world class striking, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think I've already said it. Jerry's style is not a longevity style. No matter how good or bad of a person he goes against, he's eventually going to get caught by different people. Even if it was somebody that wasn't the best striker in the world, when he drops his hands, he's going to get caught. And that's just the style he has.
Yeah. It's good, Steve.
I think in a lot of fights, for him to wake up to the beast we know him, he had to get caught in a lot of his fights. The Teixeira, you see him turn on his ultra instinct and get focused. And it's like, how many times you're going to fight a good striker to catch you a good time and you can't recover, which a lot of his fights, upcoming fights, that kind of, I felt like did happen to him. He got lucky. He didn't get finished and recovered.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's got a interesting style. And like Emma said, hands down, it looks cool, but sometimes it can go really bad. And like this instance, he paid the price with his consciousness. So, Admire gave us a little preview earlier, I guess, what should happen with Pierre next. And people are saying heavyweight division, and I guess Admire wants him to face John Jones. Why is that, Admire?
That's the fight that interests me. I mean, of course, I want to watch John Jones fight, but in my mind, the Stipe ship has sailed. The Tom Aspinall, I'm not as interested in as I am Pierre. If you look at John Jones's resume, when's the last time he went against an elite striker, not somebody that can just land heavy shots, an elite striker with pinpoint accuracy, with crazy power? I don't think he's ever faced somebody like that. Alex is 6'4", 79-inch reach. So him and Jones, when Jones was light heavyweight, were really similar in size. John Jones is beefed up since going to heavyweight. I want to see what Alex can do with his body to get up to heavyweight. It just, to me, it's the most interesting fight that John Jones could possibly have. Like I said, the Stipe fight, it's kind of just out of sight, out of mind now.
John Jones just faced a world-class kickboxer who's like elite in heavyweight division with Cyril Gahn.
Who?
Cyril Gahn. Literally his last fight. And that's exactly why I don't want to see Pierre face Jones, because I think the same results will happen. Look, Pierre is a bigger light heavyweight. He could definitely get up to heavyweight, but John Jones has NFL siblings in his family, so I always knew that he would be able to fill out that frame, but I'm not sure about Pierre. He looks like he's one of those more like slender, limber fighters. I think he to be honest, he's a cruiserweight. Actually, I think, like I said, he's a bigger lightweight, but he's like a cruiserweight. Even though UFC doesn't have the cruiserweight division, 225, he'd be like perfect for that division if they had it. I think he'd be a little bit undersized heavyweight, and I don't think it would go well for him if he faced John Jones, to be honest, because John Jones is not going to play that striking game with him. No, a younger John Jones, he was a little bit cockier. He wants to be at your own game, but I think at this point, he just wants to keep his legacy intact, so he's not going to play that striking game. And they say Alex Pereira is like a fish out of water during grappling practice and whatnot. So, I mean, it sounds good on paper, but I don't know if that'll turn out well for him. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Sounds entertaining, but I like I said, I don't think so because of his body weight. He has a small frame. Like I said, it doesn't fill out like a heavy waist like a Cyril Gahn or even what John Jones did. Even in light heavyweight, he looks sleek, and I don't think he can fill out to some people who are weighing 245, 250, depending on who he's fighting. You know, if he fights somebody 265, I mean, dang. And would that transfer into knockout power, which I think he may have, but that's a factor. I would be very entertained in a Cyril Gahn fight, but you know, I guess they're trying to fast track him into this Triple C champ. You know, I don't know. I guess his options are open. I would lean more towards Stipe, but I also feel like that it also would be an easy fight to take him down if John Jones fought him. So I don't know what they would do.
And what happened to ever like clearing out your division? This is only his second title defense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he still got some opponents that he could face at light heavyweight. Even though they had the kickboxing, I don't know if it was a quadrilogy. I can't remember how many times they faced each other in kickboxing. But him and Izzy are 1-1 in MMA. You still got that.
I think
he's coming back at middleweight to face DDP this fall. So I feel like it's still options for him at the lower weight classes, and it's a little bit too early for him to try to jump up to heavyweight and get 3 belts. Like establish your legacy in the division you have your belt in.
I mean, I agree with that, but for me, and I'm normally the one to say stuff like that, but I think that just with the climate of the UFC now, they really need more faces. That I'm used to them letting people kind of move around and do what they want when they're winning and they have belts and stuff. So I deep down do think he should have more fights at light heavyweight. He should do more in his division, but I'm also been spoiled by what they've been letting people do, so I could understand it. I mean, I'm not gonna shoot down him moving up to heavyweight. You know, maybe move him up there to heavyweight and give him just a test fight up there. You know, against like Cyril Gahn or Jolton Almeida.
I was about to say it would have made perfect sense if the fight wasn't scheduled for him, the Tom Aspinall. So if he did win, he can just sit on the John Jones Stipe, and just go back down to light heavy and middleweight since that's already clogged up.
I don't know. I know he was scheduled to face Jamal Hill, and me and Steve were talking about this last week. I think his suspension is up this month. Like, I would be intrigued with a Khalil Roundtree and Pereira fight at light heavyweight. I know Roundtree's like only like 8, but still, I've seen him fast track people just because of the intrigue of the matchup. Because I'm looking at people ranked. I mean, Magomed Ankalaev. I don't know if that's going to sell a lot of pay-per-views, even though it might be an intriguing fight. They're not going to put Hill back in there. I don't know if you'll put Blachowicz in there either. Alexander Rakic, I guess that's interesting. And then Krylov, Johnny Walker, you can't put him in there after he got sent to the Shadow Realm in Abu Dhabi. Not Abu Dhabi, it was in Saudi Arabia. And then right behind that is Roundtree. So you can maybe make your case for a Roundtree to jump up there.
Yeah, Roundtree is the only one that sticks out of that list that I would like to see Pierre against in light heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to do it just so he could see if he could test himself, I guess. But I know wins and losses don't matter as much in MMA as it does like in a boxing. But if he goes up to heavyweight and gets beat, and we've seen Volkanovski do it, and he didn't really lose any luster. But I think it still takes off a little bit luster if you go up there and get beat and then go back down and defend your belt. But like you said, it'd be entertaining. But I don't know, some big boys up there, and that's the biggest weight jump. So I don't know. And then, like, what do you even do with Yuri coming off that loss? Admire.
Have him and Jamal Hill ever fought?
I don't think so. Both of them got injured and had to give up the belts, and they were scheduled to face each other before Hill blew out that Achilles. So nah, they haven't faced each
I
other.
mean, that fight makes sense, but then they both just fought for the title and both just lost. Yeah, the winner, you would almost expect to have to get another run at it, and that's too quick of a turnaround to be doing all these. So I think Jamal Hill and Jerry both need to kind of step back and hit those tail end guys. We were just talking Anthony Smith taking a step back, but maybe Jamal Hill and Anthony Smith, something like that. But then you do like Jerry against Johnny Walker.
I don't know. Johnny Walker needs to take some time off after getting starts like that. I don't know. What's Uncle Iev doing right now?
I thought I heard a fight coming up.
But a lot of these guys already fought each other. It's almost playing like a round robin. It's hard to keep up with. Uncle Iev, he had that main event against Johnny Walker. Damn, Johnny Walker needs to sit down, man, because I forgot about that. Just happened in January. Uncle Iev knocked him out, and then Ozdemir sent him to the Shadow Realm a week and some change ago. Yeah, Walker needs to sit down and recover. I don't know. Uncle Iev, it's been since January since he fought. I don't see anything scheduled for Uncle Iev.
Yeah, need to get something scheduled.
He's probably just sitting. If I were him, I'd just sit and wait for a title shot. Either Alex Pereira is going to go up there and vacate the belt, or maybe an interim belt, or making your case where you get the next title shot, especially being ranked number 2. So yeah, if you're Uncle Iev, I say title shot or bust. But
yeah, kind of have him wait on that, and then, I mean, realistically, before you do anything with Alex Pereira, you have to see what happens with Izzy and DDP, because your money maker and the fight that makes the most sense is having Pereira versus Izzy if Izzy wins.
That's what I said. But that's an interesting spot they're in, because we saw Izzy at 205 and he weighed in like at 200 or 201. So I think they would probably want to make that a 205 fight. But I don't know. Can Pierre make 185? It wasn't that long ago. He was at 185.
Yeah, I mean, his last middleweight fight was Izzy about a year ago.
He got knocked out. I would figure that trilogy more than him at heavyweight, to be honest.
Yeah. The trilogy fight, it makes the most sense for rankings purposes, but also money purposes. Or I kind of wish there was a 195 division. Put Izzy against Pierre at 195.
I mean, they have it exists, but just not in the UFC, super middleweight.
Yeah, I know we don't like the belt that much, but tell them BMF fight 190, 195.
Yeah, I don't like that belt. You're right. I don't like it. Especially the way they've been doing it. They've been passing it around with the lighter weight guys. I don't know. They have options. I'd be intrigued with the Izzy fight, but like you said, we got to see how it shakes out with DDP. Thank you for checking out this Haymaker Combat Sports segment. This full episode can be found on the Haymaker Combat Sports YouTube page and in audio form on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, peace.